What's going on, guys? Hunter here with Goodman Lawn Care. Today we're going to be talking about getting clients and keeping clients. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? You're gonna have to excuse my farmer stand here. It's really popping out with the black shirt there. Just ignore that. The only reason I'm saying that is because I'm noticing it on the camera and everything, but just act like you didn't see it, act like you don't see it, whatever. The first thing that we're gonna talk about today is getting clients. How do you get clients? People always ask me, how do you get clients? I had a guy this week call me and was asking me a few questions about lawn care and everything. He's just kind of starting out. We got a few yards. He was asking me, when you first started out, how did you get yards? How did you get new clients and everything? And so that's kind of what made me think about filming this video and everything, because it kind of got my brain turning on a little bit. And I got some notes here, so if I go to look down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But anyways, that's what inspired me to film this video. So number one thing with getting clients is word of mouth. That is absolutely, positively the number one thing. And that's what I told him. And he asked me about flyers and other things, and I said, you can do Facebook, you can do Instagram, you can do flyers, and that'll do good. It'll do great. But I'm gonna tell you, if you already have a few yards and you're already out there doing it, just keep on doing what you're doing, and eventually word of mouth will get out. It will happen. And if you're out in public and you're talking to somebody and you just tell them that you have a lawn care business, talk to them about it. Let people know what you're doing. Word of mouth is always going to be the number one way to get more yards. That's just the bottom line. And of course, you got Facebook, Instagram. You can put out flyers at businesses, restaurants, anywhere where people are going to be. A lot of people are going to be at. And if you live in like a city, you can put them on high traffic areas, walking areas, or stuff like that. Always just make sure you ask permission before you do that and anything. When I started my business, what really got me started was Facebook. Facebook is great because you can share posts and you can comment on other people's posts, and so people would put on there like looking for a yard man, looking for somebody to mow my grass, looking for somebody to do this, looking for somebody to do that. And there for a little while, there was a time where we didn't turn down anything. I mean, we did every job that came to us. We did it. We did anything from gutters to washing houses, washing the gutters. I mean, anything, washing vinyl stuff, pressure washing even, and we trimmed hedges, put in mulch, the basic stuff, and we weed eated, we mowed, we did everything we're doing now. But back then we didn't really turn down any jobs because any job we did was an opportunity for another job. And so that's kind of how we got started doing everything. And I'm not saying do every single thing that comes up. I'm just telling you that how we got started and what we did, because every job you do is an opportunity to get another job. And that's word of mouth. That's just how it works. That's just what it is. So another thing is, when you go to price jobs, say you get a client and the client wants you to come price their job and you go to price it. Don't expect to get every job you price, because it won't happen. It will not happen. That was a hard pill for me to swallow. It wasn't like necessarily the end of the world for me. It made you wonder, like, why did I not get that job? Why did they tell me no? Why did I not call back? It made you wonder. And so a lot of the reasons for that could be they got multiple prices and you were just not in that range they wanted. Or another thing is, if you're just starting out, a lot of times people will try to take advantage of you. And especially if you're younger, they think, oh, he's just starting out, I'll get a cheap job and whatever. And it's sad to say, but that's just how it is. That's what happens. And so that's a couple of the reasons. Okay, so when you price jobs, you're not going to get every one of them. We covered that. And I'm going to touch base on that just a little bit more. So when I was in landscape management class, I went to school at EMCC for landscape management. That's what I graduated in. That's my degree. We talked about this. We talked about jobs and stuff. You're not going to get every job you price, they told us. And they said, if you get every job you price, your pricing is messed up. And if you don't get any jobs, then your pricing's messed up. But then there's also periods of times that I've found this personally, is there's periods of time where you get every single job you price, and then there's periods of time where you don't get a single job. And I don't think that's because of anything at that point. I think it's just because the market could be you know, the time period, like COVID was a, people spent a lot more money in COVID than I would have thought they would have, which is just crazy. And now it's kind of getting to the point where it's kind of getting back normal and everything. So, but that's a couple of things I just want to tell you about, you know, pricing jobs and everything. You know, like I said, don't worry too much about that, because, you know, there'll be plenty more jobs in the future that you can get, but just, you don't have to get every single job. Another thing, so if you get a job in a neighborhood, like I've got a few jobs right now. I've got one road, for instance. I started out with one job on that one road, and now I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 yards on that road at one point this year, but now I just have 5 because one dropped off. But still, 5 yards. I started with one job on that one road, and now I have 5 other yards on that one road. You know, one thing that's always good to think about is when you're pricing a job, price it at a price to where if the neighbor wants their yard cut, you can come down on that person a little bit and give the neighbor the same price. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to explain it real quick. Say you're cutting a yard for $50 and the neighbor right beside them wants their yard cut. Then you can go down to $45 on her and the neighbor and get them both for $45. So then you're making $90 a cut instead of the $50 a cut that you were making off 1 yard. So don't know if that makes sense, but that's one good way to do it. That's one good way to get jobs, is to give them like a deal. And especially, you know, that's also motivation for your client too, to refer you to more people. So like I have one client right now on a road, and I told her, I mow, it's a real small yard, and I told her, I said, I'll mow your yard for 40. I said, but if you can get me more yards on this road, I can go down to 35. And then if you can get me even more, then I might can even come down to 30. So that gives them motivation, like kind of like an incentive type thing to promote you and get you mowing more yards in their neighborhood and on that road. So that's another tip. Okay, so now we're past the point of getting clients. Now you have the clients. How do you keep the clients? The number one way to keep clients is to do a good job. That should be kind of common sense. It's, you know, I don't know, it's just do a good job. And so by doing a good job, I mean check your work. So like you have the clients, kind of a new client, take a little bit extra time, walk around, make sure you got everything good, make sure the edges look good, make sure you didn't miss any weeding, make sure you got everything blown off, make sure you don't rut the yard up when you turn around if you have a zero turn. Just little things. It's the little things that count. Just make sure you do a very good job on new clients and existing clients. So that's one good way to keep clients. Another way to keep clients is to be respectful. Yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, goes a long ways. You know, there's a lot of people that, especially older people, they love manners. They love it. And I don't do it because they love it. I do it because that's how I was raised, and it's just me. So I can't not do it. And another thing is being honest. Keep your word. If you say you're going to be there on Tuesday, show up on Tuesday. If you say you're going to be there on Wednesday, show up on Wednesday. If you say you're going to come every 2 weeks, come every 2 weeks. It's pretty straightforward. Another thing that helps with that is be on time, so consistency. So I'm going to talk about that for a minute. That also helps out with your routing. So if you're routing your yards out, it helps. Right now I have all my weeklies on one day. I have bi-weeklies and weeklies. So my weeklies are of course what I cut every week, and my bi-weeklies is what I cut every other week. And so I was just kind of clarifying for that, for, you know, some people didn't understand, but I'm sure that makes plenty of sense. But anyway, I have 13 weeklies, and so I try to get all my weeklies on either a Wednesday or a Tuesday. And if we get rained out or something, it'll be on a Thursday. But I try to keep them on between Wednesdays and Thursday. Between Tuesdays and Thursdays. So typically it's all done on Wednesday. I keep all my weeklies on Wednesday. It makes everything simpler for me. They like it because Wednesday is kind of that day in the middle of the week where the yard needs it, but it doesn't really need it. And it keeps it looking nice for the weekend too. That's a pro tip there, consistency. And also, like, I have routes, so, which I'm sure a lot of other people have routes too, but I'm just talking about my routes. I hit all my, what I call Caledonia routes. I hit all my Caledonia routes on Tuesdays typically. Typically it happens on a Tuesday is when I hit that route. It's not necessarily because anybody wants it on Tuesday, it's just because I started doing it on Tuesdays and it just kind of seemed easier to do it on Tuesdays. So consistency definitely helps with your clients. It helps with your routes. makes everything simpler. Another thing, and this kind of goes back to being respectful and everything like that, never be too busy. And what I mean by that is, don't be too busy to talk to your clients. You're never too busy to talk to them. If they're outside working in the yard, cut the weed eater off or cut the mower off, stop and talk to them for, it doesn't have to be all day, just a few minutes, and just show them that you care, that that you're just trying to be nice, and being friendly and stuff. So that's just one good thing there. So overall, it all goes back to kind of your character. I think anything to a successful business goes back to your character. And so, just being a good person, being honest, being on time, being respectful, speaking to people, that goes a long ways. And so that's definitely one thing that's helped me a lot. And I like talking to people. I'm a talker. I talk to people all the time. Speaking to people, you're making a relationship with them. And I've gained so many relationships from lawn care that I can't even tell you. It's just, I have so many more friends and people that I know, and it opens up more doors too. And so, like I said, it all goes back to word of mouth, and the more people you talk to, the more future clients that you could have. And hope that helps. Hope that helps. Any questions anybody has about getting clients and keeping clients, and I hope that you all learned something from this. And I had a great time filming it. So I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while, but I haven't. This is not what I'm used to. I'm not used to sitting down and talking, but I'm more used to videoing, holding in my hand and showing you what we're doing and whatever. But this is pretty cool. I want to do this. I've been wanting to do a video kind of like this, kind of like a how-to helpful video, and so I finally did it, so that's good. So appreciate you watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe. Subscribers are kind of just sitting right now, so let's change that. Let's get it going. Let's get it going back up. And so hope you learned something. And if you like this video and you want to hear more about it, or if you want to have if you have questions about anything else, just drop it down in the comment section, and I might do another video like this later on. I don't know. So appreciate you watching, and I'll see you later.